Delivery boys of Reddit, what is the weirdest delivery you ever did? I was delivering a pizza and after I knocked on the door I heard a faraway voice yell coming, so I waited. After about a minute I hear the same voice a little closer yell almost there, just wait. This continues for several minutes, with the voice coming closer and closer until the person finally reaches the door and opens it. I'm expecting to see someone at eye level, however instead I'm greeted by a smiling person on the floor who had no legs and dragged themselves across the house to answer the door. I offered to put the pizza inside for them in the kitchen and they were pretty appreciative. This isn't the same really, but I used to deliver to a blind guy, who I also used to wait on at a buffet before that, strangely enough, who told me that I was the first person that told him what each item was before I handed it to him so he could get it straight. So I delivered like 5 pizzas to this guy once. I had to ring the doorbell several times before he came to the door. When he got there he didn't really say anything except to come on in real quick. Now you aren't supposed to go in people's houses, but I decided who cares, I can defend myself. I get inside this guy's huge house and it's full of weird. There was a full suit of armor right by the door, and somewhere he had this Halloween CD playing creepy, deep-voiced laughs. While he's searching for his wallet, the biggest dog I've ever seen walks up to me and falls at my feet, pushing me over. So I'm sitting next to a suit of armor petting this huge dog waiting for this middle-aged man to pay me. He gave me a $40 tip. A man answered the door in a robe. The robe was closed, but I guess he wasn't wearing underwear, because as we're exchanging money, a stream of starts to fall between his legs and right onto his own carpet. He doesn't seem to notice, or just doesn't care. I take a big step back out of the splash zone, and he just keeps making small talk while it's happening. He wasn't too old. Early 50s. I'm not sure how he didn't notice. The sound of a heavy stream of hitting carpet is honestly pretty loud. Should have mentioned this was delivery for a pharmacy. I believe he had a mental disability, as I recall he was getting psych meds. Was delivering to a neighborhood that typically was kind of sketch, so I always expected no tip or a small one. I rolled up to this lady's house and she said something along the lines of, "I don't have the money and my husband will be here in 20 minutes with some cash." It was the last delivery of the night, so I wasn't worried about taking too long, and then she opened up her garage door. There was a pool table and fridge and TV in there, and she gave me a beer and we played pool until her husband came and gave me the money along with a $20 tip. One of the better nights working that job, lol. I once delivered pizza to what seemed like a gang house. I pulled up and there are all these intimidating dudes with tattoos and bandanas all wearing the same colored clothes. I puckered up and felt my scrotum shrivel as I awkwardly shuffled past them with a bunch of pizzas to ring the doorbell. They were all staring me down and it felt like the longest walk ever. The person who ordered the pizza must have been the head honcho because he looked like the baddest of the bunch. The total was like $70 and he gave me a $100 bill and told me to keep the change. I bolted out of there and returned back to the pizza place on autopilot because I was so scared. I was at the LA Greyhound station at midnight back in maybe 1990, really the height of gangs in LA. My girlfriend and I were waiting outside the McDonald's for my brother to pick us up. There was a black kid across the street wearing a blue do-rag on his head and staring us down. He slowly ambled over, still staring at us, and goes, "Why you all doing here?" I said we were just waiting for a ride, and he looked at us both and said, "Oh. Sorry, I thought you might be talent scouts. I can do gang member, but I'm also good for other roles." He and my aspiring actress GF commiserated on the business until my brother showed up. I was a delivery boy for an Asian restaurant for a while. Had a delivery down a sketchy, very bumpy road in the back of my small town near all these trailers. When they answered the door, there was a 50 to 60-year-old lady standing completely naked in front of me, as well as 2 men of the same age sitting on the couch with their dongs out, again, completely naked. I obviously got out of there as fast as possible. I took her signature and nearly ran away. She yelled at me through the window, "Come inside with us." And I said no as I was walking away, and she proceeded to curse at me as I jogged back to my car. It's interesting what kind of people you meet.